about the individuals that were granted presidential pardon or clemency over the weekend, and it's gotten a lot of people talking. Now, in front of me, like I always like to do, is to get scientific reports, psychological reports, and data. I like academia work for my conversations, so that it gives me a foothold, and I can share that with you, so that we don't just speak from an emotional standpoint. Now, the power of pardon is an important component of executive powers, which allows the president to intervene and grant pardon as a way of dispensing the mercy of government. Please listen to this. To dispense the mercy of government in exceptional cases where the legal system either fails to deliver a morally, listen, or politically acceptable result. Now, on one hand, you would say, but that's not the business of the law. The law is meant to interpret the guidelines that a particular group of people are meant to be ruled by. So it's meant to be emotionless. So it's not meant to favor you because of your political standpoint, or favor you because of your moral background, because you're a Christian and you don't believe people should marry two wives. So because somebody married two wives, send him to prison. Well, that's from a moral. I'm just giving that as an example, right? However, now that as we have society the way it's structured, we know that there are some cases that it's not outrightly black on white. And then, in the interest of the humanity or the humaneness of government, people get pardoned. Because if you are a Christian, if you are Muslim, and if you are any other religion, these days a lot of people are talking about forgiveness and tolerance. And even if you are atheist, even if you are agnostic, right, there's a room for repentance. In fact, that's why, the prison system here or in Nigeria was changed to correctional facilities. The idea is for people to go in. Yes, they've done something wrong, but hopefully the time they spend in there as punishment could also serve as a means for them to get reformed, to get corrected. Now, in Nigeria, in the US, in India, and South Africa, amongst other countries, the presidential pardon is very well in full swing. It's practiced. It's been practiced for a long time now. Now, in recent times, however, the practice has become, for many people, a personal prerogative of the president. And some say it's kind of like the last remnant of kingship or authoritarianism in our democracy. The power of pardon is virtually unfettered and unchecked by formal constraints in most jurisdictions, thereby rendering it susceptible to abuse. However, in some jurisdictions, there are conventionally specified criteria which guide the grant of pardon. Trump pardoned some people on his recent return. This is the second time as president, right? And people's hair were standing. Now let's look at some of the people who were pardoned. And I'm reading straight from the State House website. That's statehouse.gov.ng. Right? Some people have been very critical. Oh, why did President Tinubu why did they pardon these people? Drug dealers, this person, murderers, this, that, and that. President Tinubu granted clemency to most of them, listen to this, based on the reports that the convicts have shown remorse and good conduct. Isn't that why we sent them in the very first case? Now, let me give an example, all right, of clemency, right? This one, when I got to see this, I understood it, and I'm not imposing on you. I want you to see if it makes sense to you as well. Presidential pardon. Ben Friday, aged 60, was sentenced to 3 years or 1.3 million naira fine for marijuana in 2023. So he spent 2 years. What's left? A year. He's been there 2 years. A little mercy, not bad, right? This was 6'2". He was sentenced to 15 years for cannabis. 15 years for cannabis possession. That's a lot, really. And then maybe as he's been in prison, he's been of good behavior. He's 70. What else is he going to do? He's not going to live up to 150 now, is he? Pata pata, he does another 10 years on this planet. Clemency. Look at this one. Johnny Interu, age 63, sentenced in 1989 for robbery, life imprisonment. He has spent 36 years in Umuahia prison. 36 years. He's still alive. What if he was to live to another 80? So we keep on paying for his feeding. The family said, no, look, we don't want presidential posthumous pardon. Let this case be reviewed. People say it makes sense. But the big issue here is, the drug dealers. A lot of people are not upset right now. Bearing in mind the children. Maybe clemency, maybe the pardon is good. So it brings me to I'm carefully giving you all these examples so that I can appeal to your consciences. I'm going to give you guys a minute and a half. All right, we're going to go on a break and listen to the question very carefully, please. Should there be a modification of the executive powers of pardon? Like I said, could you please pardon me? Okay, be careful, Presido, be careful. But then again, what if he wants to? Because ultimately, there are some of you who are listening to us right now. You are former gang members, former gang leaders. You used to do yahoo when you were in university, in Uniben, in Uniport. You obtained money on fraudulent means to pay your way through school, to buy the car you gave to your mother on her birthday in 2017. You got by stealing the money. But here you are.
Stay with us. Nigeria Info.
You find us on Facebook and X at Nigeria Info PH, at Nigeria Info PH. All right. WhatsApp and our SMS portal is 0809-030-6416, 0809-030-6416. All right. So let me check the SMS portal. Make sure we don't have any message here. Okay, this one's from 10:25. All right, just when the advert break started. All right. So it's not about this conversation from Abdul Rumokoro. All right, thank you very much. All right, so let's start with the WhatsApp message. This one says, please, some crimes should not be pardonable. Murder, attempted or any form, kidnapping. I think other crimes can be pardoned after they have served at least one. After they serve at least more or half their time. Godfather from Uniport. So murderers in any form, attempted or not, should not be pardoned. But we've seen cases where even the victims or the families of the victims offer forgiveness and pardon and says, hey, look, let's say this was manslaughter. All right, imagine a case where somebody's driving and then the person runs across the road and slips and falls and there's a collision. The man didn't come out intending to hit anybody, but the law calls it manslaughter. It wasn't like he was reckless. The person slipped and fell. And the family, after investigation, eyewitnesses corroborated, say, look, no be this man no intend to kill, no be saying they drink, nothing, no. In break, no fail, nothing. But this man just ran and fell. What do you want us to do? Send him to prison? Pardon? Yes, a life has been lost. But what do you want us to do? Sometimes, look, I understand it's a very difficult scenario to be in. But like this list shows, right, and the reasons given from the presidential villa, clemency pardons, were done because the people involved had shown some remorse, right? Let's look at the list of those who were pardoned. Weke Francis Chubueze, age 44, serving a life sentence in Kirikiri for cocaine. Dr. Wogu Peters, age 67, serving a 17-year jail term for fraud, sentenced in 2013. 2013 to today is what? 12 years. So he had just 5 years left. Pardoned. So he has served some time. He served some time. Barrister Hussaini Alhaji Umar, age 58, sentenced in 2023 to pay a fine of 150 million naira in an ICPC case. He was pardoned. So what say you? Once again, the question is very, very straight. I hope I've been able to explain it and give you the grounds to respond. Should there be a modification of the executive powers of pardon? That means, should we, like some countries who state that before a president can pardon anybody, certain things must have happened? Or should we just leave it like as it is, like the Americans have it, where the president can actually just wake up one day and say, you know what, I pardon this guy. I want to pardon PDD. He has appealed to me. I've seen something in him, so I'm using my executive powers to pardon PDD. I'm giving an example in the case of Trump. And let's not forget, ladies and gentlemen, that whilst some people are critical of this particular presidency in this issue, Goodluck Jonathan once pardoned an ex-governor who was caught mismanaging funds. In fact, remember Alamese, he was returning to the country dressed as a woman under false pretenses. That's a crime. But he was pardoned. We're still here today. Good or bad? I'm not sure. Let me hear from you. 0817-923-0002, 0817-923-0003, 0817-923-0002, 0817-923-0003. At Nigeria Info PH is where you find us on Facebook and X. At Nigeria Info PH is where you find us on Facebook and on X. WhatsApp number is 0809 030 6416. 0809 030 6416. And I go straight back to the WhatsApp portal to read some of these messages. This one here says, good morning, Nigeria. Good morning. All right. It says, in Nigeria, the power of conviction should be checked and regulated so that the president will not pardon criminals that will come back and cause havoc. God's power with that comment. God's power. Thank you very much. Now, this one says, anyone deliberately involved in crime should not be pardoned for any reason. The person should face what he or she sowed. Njoku Augustine. Now, Njoku Augustine, let's go back to the list, right? Let's go back to the list. Okay, let's hear from Ida. Ida is speaking to us from Nkoro. Ida, good morning to you.
Especially.
Good morning.
Since I heard this story, I'm not happy.
Why?
Kanu is there. Never pardoned him. Somebody that kidnapped somebody. A woman that killed her husband. They are pardoning those people.
Yes.
But the one that did not commit any crime, you didn't pardon that person.
But Ida, let's not put sentiments there. The accusations against Nnamdi Kanu are very heavy, and not all of them have been proven to be innocent. Let's be very honest with each other.
Let me ask you one question. A human soul, a soul of a human that lost and accusing somebody, which one is more a bigger? Nnamdi Kanu accused somebody. He did not kill somebody, but somebody killed somebody. You are pardoning that person. The one that accused somebody is in prison yard. My brother, how do you try to stop for Nigeria?
Wait.
If I committed crime, maybe I will believe that they will pardon me one day and I will commit crime.
Wait, Ida, wait. Once again, wait, Ida, wait. I understand your emotions. That's why I took my time to read out all, or not all, most of the people who were pardoned, right? Most of them, they have spent some time in prison. Most of them have paid for their crimes one way or the other. They had 3 years left, 5 years left, or whatnot, and they were pardoned. But the question is, hold on, Ida. The question, should we now modify it so that it's not just a wide net for everybody?
Can I ask you a question? Did Nnamdi Kanu commit any crime?
According to the federal government of this country, yes.
Somebody kidnap somebody, collect money.
Ida, once again, let's not speak with sentiment. According to the federal government, yes. That's why he was arrested. He wasn't arrested because they don't like his face, or he didn't give them bole when he reached the junction. No, let's be honest. That's why the case is still in court, because they're trying to prove his innocence.
My brother, let me tell you something. Crime rate will never stop in Nigeria. If they start like this, it will never stop. They should release it and please.
All right, thank you, Ida. Promise from Rumo Dumaya. Promise. Good morning to you.
Good morning, my brother Jude.
Good morning, Promise.
Jude, concerning the pardon, I think it's a welcome development. I don't know why people are angry. When you go to America today, even if they get hold on criminals or they capture a hoodlum, they don't kill them easily. They don't punish them that so soon. Most times they convert them and start and make use of them. Most of the great people you see today contributing to the growth and the economy of America. There were hoodlums, there were drug addicts like this. There were so many things in that country. I want to ask those people that are complaining, if it were to be their brothers or their sisters that they want to pardon, would they accept it? Put yourself in their shoes. This is not a brother to Tinubu or a sister to Tinubu. But yet, he saw that, yes, these persons can be useful. What I expect them to say, or what I expect we to say is this. Sensitization, proper sensitization should be given to them. You understand? Which I believe Tinubu has done the needful, because he's a very wise and diplomatic and proactive someone. So please, people should not complain. I appreciate it because he blessed him for giving them that pardon. Because if it is my brother or my sister that they are giving pardon, I won't say no. The same thing applicable to every other Nigerian.
But what if your sister or your brother was responsible for the deaths of many? What if your sister or your brother was responsible for the theft of hundreds of millions, if not billions of naira? What if your sister or your brother was directly responsible for a catastrophe? Would you be happy that he or she was pardoned?
Thank you, my brother. Nobody is above mistake. I may be doing my own, I may be bad in one angle. You yourself, nobody that is perfect in this life. Nobody is perfect. So let's forgive everybody, sensitize them. Our problem is proper sensitization. Whoever makes mistake, the person should be properly sensitized. And you forgive and forget. That's why it's like amnesty. Thank you, Ajeku Promise for you, man.
Thank you very much, Ajeku Promise. All right, WhatsApp now. And don't forget, you can send us an SMS message and join in the conversation, please. 0809 030 6416. 0809 030 6416. Good morning to you, Mr. Jude. As for me, the powers should remain, the framers of the Constitution never imagined that those powers would be abused. Now, what we should think rather is about the characters in place power, the 6 state governors. If the morally upright people are majorly in power, these issues of abuse of power would be curtailed without much fuss. Generally, capital punishment can be commuted, life sentences reduced, but outright pardon, I am not for that. Mr. Jude, ahead of the 2027 polls, do you think we should remember to ask any of the front runners their opposition or their position on pardoning and committing of prisoner sentences? Or we should be asking about roads and rehabilitation of schools? Text from Oyigbo. That's a very interesting question here. Mr. Jude, good morning. These people asking about Nnamdi Kanu are showing that they don't support of Nigeria. How can a person who is educated be expecting to pardon from Nnamdi Kanu? Of course he can, and it's very possible that it can happen as well. Let's not kid ourselves, right? If under certain influences, the person can pardon anybody. Trump has pardoned people who were caught at a riot. He pardoned them. So it can happen. So we need to tell them that a pardon is for a person court has ruled over. Okay, that's true. Nnamdi's case is still in court. So the sister is responsible for death of maiming, which Nnamdi Kanu has done and is waiting for judgment. Zach in Port Harcourt. Zach has a point there. You know, some of the comments, some of the actions attributed to unknown gunmen and whatnot, right, were attributed to those who followed or who believe that they have a right to do so. So once again, it's a very I understand it's a very, very dicey scenario, but the question still remains: should the ability of the president, the executive power, should it be modified? Like I said, the journal in front of me says that there are some jurisdictions where there is a certain modus for that to happen. It's not in all cases. Is it ringing? Village people, are you on duty? It's ringing. You're the first person who called just as we're about to end the call. That's when she answered. And the same thing happened on Friday as well. So hopefully this person's phone is close by. It ringeth because of time. If we don't get to hear from me, I'll just send your number across as we usually do, and that person will get credited. The number ends with 554.